tag team like Kyrie and KD. Or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s. But no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Hen, and we back to it. You know how we do it. Another day, another Larry Bird reaction video, man. Shout out to the Bird gang. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to you if you watching me for the first time. Shout out to you. And then shout out to the people that's been rocking with me for a while now. You know, I appreciate everybody that's watching this video. If it's your first time watching me, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we got a bunch more stuff coming. It's about to be lit. It's about to be lit. But for this video, man, I kind of woke up this morning and I kind of, I kind of wanted to see some savage shit up today. I don't know. It's the weekend, I was just like, how can I watch some Savage? Should I go watch some 21 Savage? Should I go? I don't know what I was thinking. I'm like, what can I do to try to watch something savage? I was like, oh shit, Larry Bird. we could put on some Larry Bird, because as we know, Larry Bird was a straight savage. Like it's not really, a question no more. I didn't know this until I reacted to these last 7-8 Larry Bird videos, but he was a cold-blooded savage, cold-blooded assassin, whatever you want to call him. So hopefully it's a lot of stuff in this video that I haven't seen yet. I'm sure it's so much more to Larry Bird that I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lot in this video that I've never seen before. So let's get into this video, man. We're not even about to, talk too much. We're about to get straight to it. So Larry Bird's most savage moments. Let's not get it. Before we get into this video, I want y'all to answer a question for me. It's a simple question. It ain't really got nothing to do with Larry Bird, but I got a question for y'all. I want y'all to answer why too. But write in the comments right now, would you rather be overrated or underpaid? Write in the comments what you would rather be and why right now. Appreciate y'all. Let's get into this video. Let's get it.
The reason why Larry Bird was called legend was his brilliance as a basketball player. And the other part were his legendary and vicious trash-talking skills. Bird was a killer on the court. He had a foul mouth, and he wasn't afraid of anybody. This explosive combination gave birth to some of the most ruthless trash-talking stories in NBA history. So here are the 10 best Larry Bird savage moments. 1988 three-point shooting contest. The three-point shot in the NBA was first introduced in the 1979 NBA season, Larry's rookie year. 7 years later, at the 1986 All-Star Weekend in Dallas, the NBA brought the first official three-point shooting contest to the scene. Larry won it, and repeated next year at the All-Star Game in Seattle. In 1988, he was going for a three-peat in Chicago. Before the start of the contest, Bird entered the locker room, did not speak a word to the other competitors, and just took a good look at them. He finally said, "I'm just looking which one of you is going to come in second." The room was filled with silence, because they all knew what kind of a shooter Bird was. Of course, Larry would go on to win again, proving...
So the first savage moment that I'm gonna kind of talk about, that's very savage, like, to go into the three-point shootout and say that. Like, I'm just walking in here to see who's gonna be second. Because, I mean, for me, and I feel like for most people, the three-point contest is like kind of something fun. It's supposed to be like something just to get the guys together and let's just have fun, and whoever wins. Larry Bird wasn't taking it like that. Larry Bird, like, hey, I'm trying to win this shit. They said this was his third one. He already had won 2 in a row. So this is his three-peat. And he's like, man, I'm not just looking here. Who coming in second in here? Like, that's crazy. And these are supposed to be the best shooters in the NBA. Savage.
That he's the best shooter in the world. He won without taking off his tracksuit, famously raising his hand while the contest clinching three was still in the air. Response to Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges was one of the best shooters in the 80s, and he competed in a three-point shooting contest with Larry each time Bird was participating. Larry won 3 times, and Craig finished second twice. When Hodges finally took home the title of the best three-point shooter at the All-Star Weekend in 1989, reporters asked him if the main reason for his victory was Bird's injury and non-participation. Craig said, "Larry knows where he can find me," and Bird replied, "I know where. the end of the Chicago Bulls bench.
I'm weak.
Larry Bird was in the prime of his basketball brilliance in the 85-86 season. Now, he led the Celtics to the title. They lost only one game at home throughout the season and the playoffs, setting an NBA record with 50-1. The Portland Trail Blazers were the only team to defeat the setting an NBA title. They lost only one game at home throughout the season.
Lost one game at
setting
home?
an NBA record with...
Yo, that's crazy. They lost one game at home. Can somebody research something real quick? I don't really want to do it right now, but that 73-9 Warriors team, how many games did they lose at home? I'm pretty sure even with that 73-9 record, they still lost more than one game at home. Like, that's crazy. Like, pretty much every team was going into Boston like, yeah, we're about to lose.
50-1. The Portland Trail Blazers were the only team to defeat the Celtics at home in December, so they were a good bet to win in front of their crowd in February. Before the game, Bird surprised his teammates and journalists by saying that he would shoot all his shots with his left hand, except long jumpers. This was the last game of a long road trip. Larry would always find new motivations and challenges to get through the monotonous grind of the regular season. In the game against Portland, he'd go on to have one of the most memorable games of his career. He hit a shot to send the game to overtime, and then hit a game winner in the OT. Bird finished the game with 47 points, with 14 rebounds and 11 assists. He scored 22 points with his left hand out of sheer boredom and fun, which tells you how insanely good and confident this guy was. White guys guarding him. Larry...
That's crazy. So it wasn't a matter of, his shoulder was sore or, he broke a right index finger or something. I'm about to just shoot my left hand just cause I want to try to make this harder on myself. He scored 47 points in that game, hit a game winner. They said he had 22 points with his left hand, bro. Like, that's so crazy to me. And that's kind of, I'm a Kobe guy, man. I'm a Kobe. Like, I try to relate to Kobe as much as I can when I watch certain videos, and that's where I'm thinking Kobe might have got that from, because Kobe did a lot. He would come into a year shooting off the backboard shots a lot, or he'd be like, yeah, that's what I worked on in the summer. I was bored, so I worked on this in the summer. Or, I was working on my left hand, so I was doing left hand hook shots for a whole year. Like, that's a lot of shit that Kobe was doing that I thought, Kobe invented that, but he might have got it from Bird, man. He might have got it from Bird. Bird was just bored and was like, yeah, let me just try something.
He's not white. Larry is clear, said Bill Murray in Space Jam, while explaining Bird's ethnicity to Michael Jordan. Larry Bird had skills for days. He was thinking the game 3 moves in advance. His jump shot was money. He was nimble at 6'9", but he wasn't by any means an athletic player. Bird suffered from WMCJ syndrome, which stands for White Men Can't Jump. He was aware of it. On one occasion, he called basketball a black man's game due to the natural ability and athleticism of African-American players. Because of that, he hated when the opposing teams would defend him with another white guy. Bird said that it was disrespectful to his greatness because he was dropping 30 and 40 on the most athletic players in the league. So if you put an unathletic white guy on it, that's barbecue chicken right there. In the training slap.
So yeah, relating to that story, which I think is hilarious, that a white guy would feel disrespected that other people with his skin tone is guarding him. That's hilarious to me. But yeah, I was watching one of my other videos. I can't remember exactly which one. If you know which other video is, then you a GOAT, because that means you pay attention. But yeah, they said that Charles Barkley came up to him and was like, hey, bro. No. He went up to Charles Barkley, said Larry Bird went up to him and was like, you're disrespectful. Y'all disrespectful, Charles. And Charles Barkley like, what? Like, what you talking about? He like, y'all put a white man on me. Like, that's very disrespectful. And Charles Barkley like, what? Like, how is that disrespectful? But that's just the mindset Larry Bird has, which I think is funny. And I don't know, man. Like, Larry Bird's like, hey, nobody like that's not athletic should be guarding me. That's a slap in my face. Because basically what y'all saying is that you don't need an athletic person to guard me. Not saying that all white people not athletic, but I guess that's what Larry Bird was saying. I don't know.
Point game in Larry Bird's career came in the 1986 season, in a game against Dominique Wilkins and the Atlanta Hawks. At the beginning of the first quarter, it was obvious that Larry is in the zone. He'd hit everything he threw to the basket, with the announcers repeatedly saying they were watching the greatest shooting exhibition in basketball history. Wow. Bird scored 60 on 61% shooting 60? And 15 of 16 on free throws, hitting ridiculous.
Can somebody please put this game in my comments right now? I want to react to this 60-point game right here. I think they said he had, 33 points in the last 12 minutes or something crazy like that. So please put this video in the comments, man. I have to react to it.
There were shots over several players. During the game, he suddenly said, "in the trainer's lab," to Hawks players, which meant he would try to make a three from the corner near the opposing bench. He got the ball, made the shot, and one Hawks player who tried to guard it tripped over and fell exactly into the trainer's lap, just like Bird predicted. The Hawks bench was so amazed that they were laughing and high-fiving each other,
That's
totally
crazy.
perplexed by Bird's brilliance. After that, they were fined by their coach Mike Fratello for cheering on the opposing player, tormenting
As they
Dennis
should.
Rodman. Dennis Rodman was one of the best defenders in NBA
Dennis
history,
Rodman?
with quick feet, long arms, and a motor that never shut down. He was a pest, an annoying pest who never stopped
I ain't
guarding,
heard this one.
provoking, and getting into everybody's face. And he used to be a nightmare for scorers around the NBA. However, when he was just starting out, he needed to get some schooling from Bird. After Larry scored 4 consecutive shots over Rodman, he opened his mean mouth and started destroying Rodman. Bird started yelling at Rodman's coach, Chuck Daly. "Who's guarding me, Chuck? Is anyone guarding me? You better get someone on me, or I'm gonna go for 60. Even
People don't do that to Dennis Rodman. That's what make Larry Bird so great. Like these stories that I'm hearing, he's not doing that. He's not talking this shit to people that's on the bench that came in the game. Like, he's talking to Dennis Rodman. He's talking to Clyde Drexler. He's talking to Charles Barkley. Like, he's talking to these very high profile guys, and I think that's what makes it right there that, like, Larry Bird is, in the top tier of players that ever play this game, man. Because it showed how that it was really levels to this shit. Like, it was really levels.
though Rodman was almost superglued to him in an effort to deny him the ball, Bird was at his sarcastic best. "I'm open. Hurry up before they notice nobody is guarding me. Merry effing Christmas."
No
1990.
way.
Larry Bird loved to play against the Indiana Pacers, where he was always greeted as a king. It was where the hick from French Lick grew up, made his first basketball steps, and took Indiana State University to the 1979 NCAA Finals. And the game Boston played against the Pacers played on December 26, 1990, will forever be etched in memory of the Pacers shooting guard, Chuck Rifleman Person. Before the game, Person said to the reporters, "Rifleman is in the building. I'm going bird hunting today." At the tip-off, Bird replied to Person that he has a Christmas present waiting for him. While Chuck sat on a bench during the game, Bird received the ball in the corner and shot a three-pointer. As the ball was flying towards the basket, Bird turned to Person and said, "Merry effing Christmas." The ball,
Oh my
of course,
God.
came in without touching the rim,
Merry
torching the Suns
Christmas.
bench.
I think he also told Gary Payton that too. I don't know if this is going to be in this video. I hope it's not, because then I just kind of gave it away. But I was watching an interview the other day, and Gary Payton was talking about how crazy Larry Bird was. And he said the same thing. He said that Larry Bird said it. He was like, he was predicting what he was going to do. I'm gonna take two dribbles, I'm gonna shoot it in your face, and that's going to be your Christmas present. Like, that's what he's telling Gary Payton, another player that's arguably the greatest defender ever. And this is what Larry Bird is telling him, bro. Like, this is crazy.
The best teams in the NBA often coast through the regular
Imagine.
season and can lose their edge and focus when playing against mediocre opponents. In one game against the Phoenix Suns, the Celtics lost a double-digit lead and were trailing by 2 in the final seconds. The Celtics had the possession, and they could tie the game and go to overtime, or win it with a 3. Larry knew his Celtics shouldn't be losing a game to the Suns, and he wanted to play no overtime. So he went to the Suns bench and told all the players and coaches what was about to happen. "Yeah, I'm going to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this."
I'm tired of
Surprisingly,
this.
He lived up to his word. As the ball was still in the air, he turned towards the Phoenix bench and yelled, "Told you so," as the ball was going through the
Psychic
nets.
trash
Following his shot
talker.
against Xavier McDaniel. Xavier McDaniel was one of the most notorious NBA players in the 80s. And on the courts, he liked to get physical, like Olivia Newton-John. When he was playing for the Sonics and the Knicks, nobody...
Somebody in the comments was like, is it trash talking if he backs it up? And I'm just like, of course it is. That makes it even more of trash talking. That means he's a great trash talker. Like, I don't think just because only people that's trash talkers are people that trash talk and don't back it up. Like, that's just a bad trash talker. That's somebody that doesn't need to be trash talking. But if you out there talking shit, doing everything that Larry Bird was doing and, predicting what you're going to do, you're still a trash talker. You're just one of the best trash talkers.
he was really messing with X-Man. However, Bird was not afraid of a scuffle, and there are multiple stories of Larry participating in bar fights during his NBA career. In a crowded Supersonics arena, Boston and Seattle played a close game tied just 10 seconds before the end. At that point, Celtics coach Casey Jones called a timeout, and Bird confidently told him to just give him the ball and that the others move the hell out of the way. On his way back to the floor, Larry said, "That's exactly where I'll get the ball, and I'll score the game winner in your face," while X-Man replied, "I know you will get it there. I'm waiting for you." Bird received the ball right where he said he would,
And he
made
brought a
tough
double.
fadeaway shot. After Bird realized there were still 2 seconds left, he told McDaniel, "Damn, I didn't want to leave 2 seconds on the clock," while X-Man walked back to the Sonics bench in disbelief, tormenting a young Clyde Drexler.
Clyde.
Before Clyde Drexler came into the NBA, he was one of the best players in college basketball, forming the famous Phi Slamma Jamma with Hakeem Olajuwon at the University of Houston. Drexler was selected by the Blazers with the 14th pick in the 1983 NBA draft. And even as a rookie, he was already one of the most athletic guys at his position. However, Bird wasn't impressed. When Drexler...
Before we get into this Clyde Drexler story, can y'all explain to me exactly what Clyde Drexler's game was like? Because I know he's one of the top 20, 30 players of all time. Like, I know that part. I know he's Clyde the Glide. I know they said he used to glide to the rim, but what was his game like? Like, was he a shoot first shooting guard? Like, did he kind of like pattern his game after Michael Jordan? Was he not much of a shooter? Was he a shooter? Like, kind of explain to me a little. I know this is not about him. This is about Larry Bird, but I've always kind of wanted to know a little bit more about Clyde Drexler. Maybe I should react to some of these videos.
subbed in the game against the Celtics. He started guarding Bird. Larry smiled at him and mockingly said, "You can't stop me. You're a rookie. You don't know anything." He would proceed to hit jump shot after jump shot over Drexler before the Blazers coach had mercy on him and subbed him out, while Bird was laughing at Clyde on the way to the bench.
That's tough. I mean, that's kind of the way you gotta feel, though. Like, I don't care if you're the #1 pick in the draft. Like, you're a rookie, bro. Like, I'm not sure. Can y'all tell me exactly what the age discrepancy was right there? Like, when Clyde Drexler was a rookie, how many years was Larry Bird in the league at that time? Probably, like 3 or 4? Like, he wasn't that old at that time, but he was just that good. But I appreciate y'all watching that video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I appreciate all the feedback, everything about it. It's been dope. Make sure you like this video if you like this video, and write something in the comments, man. I got a question for y'all Celtics fan, or actually just any NBA fan in general. Back then, who was better for the Boston Celtics, Dennis Johnson or Tiny Archibald? But I'm gonna leave y'all on that, man. I appreciate y'all again. We out.